Hello. So this
Hi.
is going to be a new podcast for the baseball Mugz.
Yeah, which I think is a great idea, Brandon. Thank you.
Yeah, good
That's
job,
awesome.
Brandon.
Yeah.
There are some new members here. Cody Fear is one of them, and I know you'll appreciate this. Go this way.
I have no understanding of what that means.
Yep. Cody will. So anyways, we're just going to talk about baseball.
And those of you that watched our fantasy baseball vlogcast,
That'll be about fantasy, and this will be about baseball. Separate things. You'll enjoy both.
It's also after we've done our 15-minute power hour, so we're a little buzzed. So give us a break if you disagree.
Great.
We want to talk about baseball.
Stefan's wearing a Cubs helmet here.
For Henry Owen Gardner.
My Cubs helmet. So we'll talk about the Cubs this year. So I just asked Stefan to go through the exercise. I know I've asked David and Matt to do it already too. Try to project the Cubs lineup. Act like you're Joe Madden. And realize how insanely difficult this is.
Yeah. I mean, so I didn't do it off of like a July Thursday game, right? I went off of what, if they needed to win one game, what they would do. So,
but are they different then?
Yeah, I don't think you play Soler if it's a one-game win all type of situation. I think you go with a defensive catcher and let Schwarber play in the outfield.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, so my leadoff hitter.
Wait. Would you really want Schwarber playing in the outfield in a one-game win all when you saw what happened last year?
Let's say yes, I do. Okay, so
like what hurts more, him making errors in the outfield or him making errors?
Catcher. I think a catcher's worse.
I think the outfield.
Well, that's why you had him in your lineup and I didn't.
Yeah.
So
all right. Well, this is an interesting topic then.
The resident baseball coach in our group can tell us.
So number one, we both had Fowler. I mean, this is the obvious. There's no argument here.
And then
the two-hole hitter. So there are three very obvious choices here in Hayward, Zobrist, and Addison.
And as a Rangers fan, I'd love to have any of them hit in my two-hole. That sounds kind of weird, but
that did sound bad.
I put Hayward there.
We both put Hayward.
He's
here.
the best. He's the best for that spot, and I think it fits him better than any other spot. So why wouldn't you put him there?
It fits him best there. I don't know if he's the best, and we'll find out. That's the perfect spot for him.
But who better to do this than
Zobrist has been doing it his whole career. Zobrist is the prototype two-hitter, right?
He's been doing it
and Addison, my goodness, I mean, you're talking projecting this guy's career like that's the spot for him,
spot.
Right?
Yeah, he's an Omar Vizquel hitting in the two-hole. Hopefully defensively too. That'd be good for you.
Well, he's going to be a Gold Glover.
Yeah, I'm a Rangers fan.
Now that Andrelson's out, I think he's the choice, right?
Yeah.
3. So you had a tough choice here.
Yeah, I originally I did it with I put 3, 4, 5 first, and I dropped my pen. But I put Rizzo as a 4 because he's a natural 4 hitter. But I thought, you know what? No, I think he's better as a 3 spot because of the RBI potential there, and he hits a lot of doubles. He's not just a power guy, and you have a lot of pop behind him. So I put him as a 3 guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with your statement that he is a natural 4-hole hitter. I think he's 3-hole is just the best for him. I mean, he gets on base by via walks a lot. I mean, he's a machine right there.
Super high,
he's a machine.
He's on pace for
and not only that, but then you look at who's going to bat 4th. Bryant, that's the guy you want.
Then that's why I changed it.
That's
I put Bryant as a 4 when I looked at it for a little bit. Hopefully he repeats what he did last year plus a little more.
A dilemma that other teams would like to have now, Rizzo in the 4-hole. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But
remember when 2 years ago you said, like, next year they're going to contend, they'll probably make a wild card, and then the year after that they're going to be the best team in baseball? Bravo to you, because I think going into the season, you can't really argue all that easily that they're not.
Number 5, we have Schwarber. We both had this.
Yep.
I think he's just, I mean, there's no choice but Schwarber here.
Yeah.
Now, the dilemma that we get into is whether he's playing in left or if he's a catcher in this
And
spot.
I think you experiment with that in April and May. See what he can do. Even if he is a serviceable catcher, it'd be great to have Soler out there.
Yeah.
But if he's garbage in a big game, how do you put him there?
Well, here's the kind of interesting thing. If he's garbage there, maybe you don't put him there with John Lester, who can't hold a runner on, and Schwarber can't throw a batter out or a runner out. But with Arrieta, maybe is he better suited?
I think with Arrieta's delivery out the stretch, it's better suited.
Yeah,
he's quick to the plate. But
I mean, it's kind of an interesting.
I'm going with, and I mean that's the argument though. That's really the only difference we have.
Well, and now that if you have Schwarber playing, I had him playing catcher, which means I could play Soler in my lineup. So I have that extra bat. You've got him in left and Montero at catcher at 7th.
He's hitting 7th, yes.
And I have Soler hitting 7th. So we have Zobrist in the 6th spot.
I mean, if he's not hitting 2nd, he's hitting 6th.
Right.
I mean, there's no other spot for him, really.
But then do you hit Soler 6 if Soler's in the lineup? Like, that's a
Let's
pretty
see.
good spot for him, right?
Yeah. So maybe you... Joe Madden.
Good luck to you, right? And then you got the dilemma of Addison Russell batting 8th or 9th.
I like him batting 9th.
No.
More than 8th?
No.
No, you like him batting 8th?
I cannot stand the pitcher hitting 8th.
Well,
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. If you look at statistics and how many times more in a season you're going to get in a bat as an 8 hitter as opposed to a 9, it's silly to waste that at bat on a pitcher.
The only reason why I kind of agree with this because you have so much potential at the top of your lineup. Why wouldn't you want to start the lineup again the second time around at the 9th spot? Because you have Montero in my lineup hitting 7th. Why would you want to follow him up with Russell? But that's where we disagree. And honestly, if someone has a different lineup than this, where they have like Zobrist at the 2nd,
David and Matt both had different lineups.
I probably couldn't really disagree with you with substantial evidence because they're just so good. They're just so good.
It's incredible what a dilemma this is.
I'm gonna grab my pen while you talk because I need it.
Second topic we want to talk about was the wild card scenario. Now, Cody, I know we just had a long argument on your Facebook about this. What do you think of one game versus a different?
I hate
option?
it. I hate it because, in case in point, was last year's NL Central. That just doesn't seem fair to me that you could be the Pirates, who are the. I mean, you could argue we're the best team in the National League, and they lost because they ran into a guy who had the best second half of anybody ever.
3 years in a row now that they lost that game.
Yeah.
But what's the solution? If they win the division, they don't worry about that, right?
Yeah, I mean that's true. So there are a couple different solutions. One solution that I've heard repeatedly is, if you're going to have this one-game playoff, you seed them by record, 1 through 6, and then or 1 through 5, and then you have the 2 bottom teams play. But that isn't fair because you play division opponents more, and if you're in a strong division, but I guess that kind of plays into it. Have a 3-game series and have a doubleheader for the first game, and then have a deciding game 3 if necessary, and then you're only wasting 2 days. Give the first round or the first seed a bye, which does not work in baseball, in my opinion. I don't know what the solution is.
See, I mean, there's no right answer.
You know what my answer is, honestly? Just go back to 4. Just go back to 4.
But then think the Cubs wouldn't have gotten the playoffs last year.
I know.
I mean, granted, now that is a once-in-a-generation problem that there's going to be a team that wins 97 games and wouldn't get in the playoffs.
Right.
And that's I like what Rob Manfred said is last year. Let's not get crazy because this happened one time.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
But I don't like how the Pirates. I mean, I would just love to watch.
The problem I have with your expanded playoffs too is the travel schedule, and A and B is now the 1 seed is probably getting too much time off, which, as you know, is not a good thing.
And another solution is cut it down to 154.
I would love that, but at the same time, that doesn't help.
It doesn't help the
delay.
traveling. Yeah.
Right. So.
I still say go back to 4. Go back to 4.
Is it not exciting though at the end of the year to have that battle for the 5th seed for the second wild card?
It obviously is, and it increases TV viewership, and it increases people going to the games. I mean,
tanking is not good for baseball already. Think how many more teams now, if you don't have that second wild card, are tanking.
Yep. So maybe this is the best option, just not a good option.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Fun to talk about. So the first one of these that we're going to do is we want to go through and talk about each region. So we're going to talk about the AL and NL West first, then the Central, and then the East. West, because I'm partial to it because I'm from California. Let's go through every team and talk about... Sorry, Arrieta's pitching, and I watch him anytime he does. We want to start with the AL first.
Yep. Let's go for it.
So my pick to win the AL West, even though I am a diehard Rangers fan, I just think the Astros are set up to win the regular season. I'm going with Houston as the first.
There's no post-hype letdown of this now that there's
That
expectations.
bullpen is just so good
There's
now.
a target on them for the first time.
I think
they're young guys.
I think McCullers is getting better. I think Keuchel is the real deal. And then you look at their bullpen now. I mean, if you get through the 7th inning, it's somewhat lights out. Gregerson's good, and then Giles
really good.
fucking awesome. So I go with Houston there, partially because I'm so pessimistic as a fan.
But where does Houston have the advantage over Texas? Texas has now a great starting pitching rotation.
Maybe this is my argument as a Rangers fan, as a pessimistic Rangers fan, and I love him to death. I can't say it enough. But Hamels last year, when he came to Texas, was a 3.4, 3.5 guy. Is that a good ace for the regular season, or is that a good number 2 for the regular season? I think it's a good number 2.
You got to take into account that ballpark too. I mean,
that's my point. Yeah,
the 3-4
then you're
there
pissed,
is that in San Diego is a lot better, right?
Very true. That's true. That's a point. And then you have a guy like Colby Lewis,
innings eater,
Innings
which everybody
eater,
needs
which
one,
is good,
especially
yeah.
in the AL with the DH. You
But
need one.
is that better than McHugh? I don't think so. Who is also an innings eater. And then you have Derek Holland, who, he flashes some great stuff sometimes, but he's still a career 4 ERA guy who's been hurt a lot.
Yeah,
and then you
it's
have
basically another innings eater with him.
Martin Perez, who has great stuff, but he just came off of huge surgery.
I mean,
What's going to
it
happen?
kind of depends on you. Is he going to be that ace again, that
That was
number
my
one?
point,
I mean, is he going to be that guy, or is he going to regress a little bit?
So my point is I think he's going to be rusty at first, like most guys are when they come off of Tommy John surgery. That's why I'm putting them 2. But my catch here is the Texas Rangers are 2. But I think they get farther than the Astros in the postseason. I think they win that playing game.
I like that.
I think they win in the first round because in a 5-game series, you have Darvish and Hamels pitching 4 of your 5 games. They're going to win, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay. You'll probably have...
Okay, then they're going to be burnt out. You got to figure for the ALCS, right?
They're going to lose in the ALCS no matter what. Yeah. But that's... So I have Houston, then I have Texas. And as a number 3, I want to hear who your number is.
Yeah, so this is an interesting debate.
Do you have Houston and Texas 1-2, by the way?
Yeah, I'm gonna lean toward the Rangers from.
I hope so. Okay, so you have Texas.
Yeah, and then
Houston.
this number 3 spot is really interesting. So last year I bought into the Mariners. I'm not gonna lie.
We picked them to go to the World Series.
We both did. This year, not much has changed over there. They're still the same good team.
Mm-hmm.
Cano hits so much better in the second half. Does he carry that over? Nelly's a monster. Felix is just the best.
You got to think the pitch staff's a little bit weaker,
But-
right?
Do the Angels got better now they got Andrelton?
I'm
gonna go Angels.
I went the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I'm just going to call them.
I'm
I'm going
going
to call
with
them the California Angels.
But would you be surprised if the Mariners finished first? Honestly,
No.
I wouldn't either.
Well, I would be surprised if if the Mariners finished first. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mariners won
Won the wild
85
card?
games. If they won 85 to 90 games, I wouldn't be surprised. And that's a wild card spot, most
So
likely.
yeah, I think we're feeling
And
the same
then,
there.
then I'm going to go. Well, we can go 3-4 with Seattle.
The
California Angels.
So the poor A's. I mean,
And I grew up.
they're sellers
as
at the deadline.
I grew up as a Oakland Athletic season ticket holder, so it's near and dear to my heart. But they're just so bad.
So
This is the worst season they're going to have.
will they be selling Sonny Gray at the deadline?
They say they're not, but of course they are.
You think they
And
are?
of course they are. And you know what? We talked about this.
We did.
Who's going to get them and why? Go, Tanker. Speak about it.
We
Preach.
didn't go that in depth about it, and I can't and won't name a team right now. I had just brought up. I don't think they're going to get him. I had brought up that's a possibility. The Cubs have the prospects. The A's are definitely going to want something in return for that Addison McKinney total ripoff.
You know the other team that I think might get them? The New York Yankees.
The New York Yankees totally good. They have the prospects too.
If they're in it, watch.
Yeah, and they will be in it.
Isn't he just Rich Harden that's healthy?
He's-
Isn't that just like
he's
Rich Harden
so
came
rich.
up and was like,
I love Sonny Gray. I think he's just the best.
and Sonny Gray is just like a 1920s baseball name too. I mean,
And he's like a 1920 style, like Christy Mathewson pitcher. I feel like.
and fun fact, because I'm almost on my 3rd beer, Gray Sonny is a great baseball name too.
Thank you for
Either
that.
way you want to do it, it's fucking fantastic.
So the A's are gonna suck, and Sorry for them.
Yeah, let's talk about the NL.
NL West.
These are cool papers.
They are. Go Wolfpack, right?
Are you all that proud? Because you're drinking out of a Duke shot
I
glass.
am. I love Duke.
NL West.
NL West.
All right.
Well, let's start with 5 here.
Yeah, let's go with 5. Who's your 5?
It's obviously the Padres or the Rockies here, right? There's no argument. It's one of the two. Which one
Does it matter?
Which one is it?
Does it matter which one's which?
I am partial to the. I don't know why, but I'm becoming a Rockies fan right now.
I am because I love Denver, and I'm putting the Padres because they're going to sell a lot of pieces.
That's what I'm going with.
And I'm going with the Rockies.
Now, can we again? I know I talked about this at the beginning of last season, and I was livid over it. The Padres' plan last year to mortgage their entire future to get a team that I said would be 81-81, and they were damn close to that last year.
So I thought they were going to win between. I thought they'd go between 86 games because that's the best situation, and they could have lost 70 games. And I mean, they finished in between there, obviously, but closer to the 70 mark. But they sold away their future, and they're not going to be good for a really long time now.
Now they do have prospects coming in though, with some trades.
Right, but still. I don't feel like you were that far away before you made all those trades, and now I feel like you're farther.
Yes, yeah, that made them way worse, and that's why I'm picking them 5th because I'm bitter over that stupidity.
Can we stop talking about the? Even though they're 2 great cities, and I love going there.
Yes, that's a great city. I really like them.
Can we talk about?
Wait, I want to talk about the Rockies. Nolan Arenado is. There's not many better players than him in all of baseball, right?
No, I think he's top 10.
They actually have some prospects coming up. Do they trade Carlos Gonzalez?
I thought they would the last year too, and they didn't. So I don't know. I mean, I think they should. I think you should.
It's sad. Like, what if
Gonzo is like 29, 30.
Right, but what if they held on to Tulo and had him and have Arenado now coming into his prime, and have like the David Dahls of the world coming out, and they have I will not say that they're going to succeed in the majors, but they have a lot of pitching in their system coming up right now.
They do. But they sold Tulo, and they're going to sell him.
It's a shame to me that they didn't wait this out another season. And I get it from their perspective. I totally get it, but it's a shame to me. Is all I'm saying. So, anyways, moving on.
In my mind, the Rockets are 4. They're going to be 4 for a long time.
Probably, yeah. I'd say
what
that too.
What did I do to your pen here?
No, I like that
it's
pen.
a twisty pen?
No, it's not.
What did I do here? Drunk.
He's not the smartest. Number 3, who you got?
D-backs. And they're
so the D-backs are the Padres of last year.
Right. No, completely. And I don't think the Greinke deal was a bad deal. Greinke deal was probably less than what he could have gotten, but yeah.
But the Shelby Miller deal.
And I love Shelby Miller, but I don't love him to carry your team as a number 2 star.
I mean, not only that, but the deal that they made was for a number 1. That was a Greinke deal, not a Shelby deal. Puzzling to say the least.
That's like the Teixeira deal back in the day with the Rangers.
Is it this year a bust for the Rockies? I mean, the D-backs?
They don't think so. I think so. This year next.
Yeah.
I think they have a 2-year window, which we should do a live vlogcast from the stadium. We won't.
We should. That
we
fish
could.
totally just jumped.
Yeah.
Now,
can we go to the interesting question here?
Number 2.
Can we go to the 1-2?
It's an even year this year? Are we going with the Bay?
No.
Or Southern California?
I'm calling it. This is the year of the even numbered year trend. And I'm going with the Dodgers, and I'm going with the Giants to lose to whoever wins the wild card game.
Do you think the Giants make the playoffs?
I think the Giants make a wild card spot, and I think they lose.
So what you're saying now, though, I don't want to jump ahead, but the Cardinals, the Cubs, the Pirates, the Mets, the Nats.
Oh, that's a good point.
I don't want to jump ahead, but we'll leave it at.
No, you know what?
The Giants are going to make the playoffs.
No, I don't. Not anymore.
Come on, this is spineless.
It is.
This is spineless.
A wise man told me one time that once you get more knowledge, you can change your opinion.
Fair enough. So not only does the World Series trend die, but they're not even going to make the playoffs.
I mean, I think they're going to be a better team than last year, obviously.
They made some good signings.
But, okay, I like Cueto there.
Samardzija?
You're putting... I mean, Okay, let's look at what the Giants did in 2010. Right? They had Kane. They had an amazing Madison Bumgarner that came out
Let's
of
be
nowhere.
honest, though. In 2010 and 2012, did you really think at the preseason that they had a World Series team?
Neither year, no. And I don't like to talk about 2010 for obvious reasons, but 2012, no. I remember sitting at one of our favorite establishments telling one of our favorite friends, there's no way the Tigers lose this series. And did they ever lose? They lost it about as much as you can lose the series. So it'll be fun, though. I do think the Dodgers are going to win the division. Does the new manager change anything? Probably not.
Does Puig ruin the locker room?
I think if it's happened before, it'll probably happen again.
Does that mean the Dodgers finish first?
Nah, they're built for the regular season. What's going to be fun is talking about the Central. Whenever we talk about that
It will be
again.
fun. I mean, we're running a little long here, so we should wrap this
Shut
up.
up
But
the power hour thing again.
anyways,
Please comment and talk about it because we don't have anything better to do.
because we're baseball mugs now, all of us. So
Henry Rowan Gardner.
cheers to you
Chet
guys.
Stedman.
We'll talk soon.